This product is good for 3 more years. So this is fantastic product, okay? So these needles will go right into our inventory. So let's see what this might be. This is a HEPA filter. We will take them and move them down into a stage. They will go through and they will make sure the products are good, they're not broken, and they categorize them and separate them just like we do with the other medical supplies. And then what they'll do is they'll put them into the envelopes, where Joanna is doing that right now, and she is identifying the product. They go through, look at all these manuals that they have to go through. Baby at 98.6 degrees. It has oxygen and all kinds of monitoring, tools, and so they can make sure the baby's doing all right. Okay? But we'll have equipment over here, which is endoscopic or minimally invasive surgical equipment. So it's very simple. From what did we see?
Air pressure. People need all the time because of the environment. Sometimes the environment has, like in the developing world, it's not, though we have it a lot here, but there is more in the developing world where the cars, the emission is not something which they take very much into consideration. So a lot of cars which cannot pass emission here, sometimes they send them to the developing world and they are sold there for cheap, and the air is so polluted with a lot of dust and stuff. So a lot of people suffer from respiratory problems. Asthma and stuff. So that's why you see nebulizer, CPAPs and all that.
So Evan is our senior biomedical engineer.
So all this is going to Obando, huh?
That's what I did.
And I think the wheelchair too. I'd like to take a shot of the wheelchair.
So there's some examination tables, wheelchairs, hundreds of crutches, a gurney for the hospital. This is a surgical microscope, a very, very expensive surgical microscope. Underneath that is an EKG machine, surgical lights.
All this right here, huh, John?
Yes, all of this product, all of these pallets.
And what's in this one, Chuck?
Master.
I think we're getting 8 of this for Obando.
Yeah.
And it will be distributed to about 11 barangays in Obando.
Tires are run flat tires, just like a high-end Mercedes.
Oh.
Right? And so they're really ruggedized.
So you can back up too.
So if you can,
It's very light.
it's it weighs a lot, but it rolls well.
The larger wheels, I think.
Yeah, it's the wheels and the bearings and everything. Because when you pick up the box, it's very heavy, but it does what it's supposed to do.
You can speed that.
I want to introduce Romeo Cruz. He's from the Valenzuela Association here in Northern California, a Philippine-American association that helps back home. And so he'll introduce our other honored guests, and then so we'd also like to learn about how you heard about Medshare, Romy, and this project has been really long in gestation.
Oh yeah.
This has been going on a while.
2 years.
Because of all kinds of delays over there. But we broke through and we stayed the course together, and we're delighted to have you here. So, Romeo?
Thank you, Chuck. I'm going to stand up. I'm not good at this, but my name is Romeo Cruz, and I'm from Valenzuela, Philippines. We heard about this project of Medshare. We got some Obandonians, we call them. Too bad that some of them cannot come in because they're working. So I'm going to introduce you to them, who will say something about Obando. This is Mr. Zenon Candido and Josephine Sanchez. And Bill Sanchez. The first time I met these two, I was so glad when they called me and emailed me, Romy, I'd like to go to the loading ceremony. So I said, fine, great. So here they are. I gotta let them talk and tell you something about Obando. We're the shipment of you hardworking volunteers. I got my salute to you as a veteran. I was in the Navy for 20 years. I know it's hard work. Thank you. Senon?
Okay, I'm Senon Candido. I used to work with the post office. I just retired last month, so this is my second week of retirement. Okay, I've been here in the United States for 33 years, 1978. So I want to talk about Obando. Obando is probably the smallest town in Bulacan. It's a fishing village because it's close to Manila Bay. So a lot of people depends on, on the fish pond, river, whatever. It's a fishing village. And we are like 10 miles from Manila. And Valenzuela is, when you cross the river, it's already Obando. So it's just like a neighboring town. I grew up in Valenzuela, and my grandfather is from Valenzuela, and I grew up in.
So tomorrow, the Philippine Supreme Court will decide on. The citizens filed a petition to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court will decide on this tomorrow. So this is a very important week for Obando. And it so happened that this shipment is also happening today, a day before.
The container going out today, whenever the container shows up from the port, is going to Obando. So everything is picked and it's going there this afternoon. Interesting comment you made there, Joanna. 2 weeks ago when we had the director of the Cured Children's Hospital in Uganda with us, I told him, I said, you're helping us with a problem. And he said, what are you talking about? And I said, it's not just one way here. Us giving you stuff, right? And he goes, I have never thought about that before. I said, you are helping us with an environmental issue. Speaking of environmental issues and landfills, the material would have been in our local landfills while it's still in a usable state. And he goes, I'm going to use that. I'm going to steal it from you. But the people of Obando, right, while they have this major issue having to do with landfills, they've just helped us with the landfill issue. Very ironic. Very ironic, right? That this stuff was diverted out of a landfill, going to a community fighting a landfill. Go figure. Right? So we are just delighted. Romeo, we can't say enough about you stewarding this thing through. This has been a tough project. It's been a tough project.
I thought it will be very hard.
So this happens sometimes, but thank you for staying the course, right? And it's your passion, really, Romy, that without you and your partners on this thing, wouldn't have happened. We can't do this, right? We can collect the stuff, we can process it, the volunteers can do all the good work, but then when the rubber meets the road, either the sponsors make it happen or it doesn't come together. So
it's all hands, I suppose. We cannot do it without you, and you cannot do it without people.
Exactly. Cooperation.
Yes. Teamwork.
Yeah. People ask all the time, oh, Medshare does this, and I go, no, we don't. There are lots of people really involved in these things. It's a friend of a friend hearing about Medshare, right? So they have all these chains of people connecting people together, and it's really neat. And we're very, very appreciative of you being here to celebrate this. And we will send you the pictures of the container leaving. Because
they leave.
We need to have proof that it's on its way, right? And then what we'll do, Romy, this afternoon, I'll send you an email of all the